So in this video I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Lumen inside UE5. So this video is going to be a complete in-depth tutorial video and it's going to be very easy. So this is a beginner level tutorial and I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about Lumen and how you can use it to get really high quality dynamic real-time lighting inside UE5. So this is the scene that we'll be creating and this looks pretty good. So you can move the light and everything is dynamically changing and adapting. So by the end of the video, you will really have a pretty good understanding of how lighting works inside UE5. Before we start this video, I would like to give a huge shout out to all my patrons. So thank you for all the support on Patreon. If you want to support the channel, you can head on to my Patreon page. So for those who don't know what Lumen is, I'm going to simply give a very quick explanation. So you can think of it as a render engine which is responsible for reflections and for lighting. So we previously had screen space reflections and screen space global illumination. We also had reflections using ray tracing. But now Lumen replaces all of that stuff. So Lumen will give you real-time reflections, and by using Lumen you will also get real-time bounce lighting. So you will get all of that global illumination in real time. So I've just created an empty project and you can go to edit, project settings. So if you just search for Lumen, so we have global illumination. By default, it will be set to Lumen because UE5 uses Lumen out of the box. Same for the reflections. So the global illumination method is set to Lumen. Reflections is also set to Lumen. And this is all you need to do to enable Lumen inside UE5. So now that we have enabled Lumen, let's actually save this scene. So file save. And I'm going to save this level. So I'm going to save this map. I'll call it Lumen level. We are going to delete some things in a level. So we are going to delete the flow. We are going to delete the player start. We are also going to delete the reflections probe. So this is basically used for baked reflections, but we are not going to use baked reflections, so you can just delete that. Next we have a skylight and we need a skylight. So just make sure that you have a skylight in your scene. We also need a directional light. Lastly, we have a atmospheric fog, so we don't need this. Just delete the atmospheric fog. And you can also delete the sky sphere from the hierarchy. So you should have a skylight and a directional light. After that, let's add some fog into our scene. So you can open up this modes panel and this has a lot of stuff that you can add. So in the visual effects panel, I am going to add an exponential height fog. And this will give you the option of volumetric fog. So make sure that you enable this. So now we have our exponential height fog done. And a quick tip, you can also tap your G key and by that you can just toggle on and off your gizmos. So the G key is just a quick handy shortcut for that. After the exponential fog, we are going to add some volumetric clouds. You can just press Ctrl L and if you move your mouse after that, you can pretty much rotate the sun. After that, we have to do some essential things in order to take advantage of Lumen. So we need to select all of these objects and we need to set the mobility of all of these objects to movable. So movable means it will be recognized as a dynamic object. And then we can use a dynamic global illumination, dynamic lighting. And one more important thing, in the skylight, you have to enable real-time capture. And that will make sure that the skylight updates whenever you change your lighting. So just make sure that you have that. Okay, so everything looks good. Everything is set to movable. So let's actually bring in our level. And this is a level that I made pretty quickly inside Blender. If you want to download the FBX file of this model, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can do that. You can already see the Lumen real-time global illumination. So it's already working. But now as you can see, this model doesn't have any material and it's looking pretty bad. You could add your custom textures to this, it would look way better. But I am going to add a material that I made. So this is a basic material, nothing fancy. Just a white color into the base color. And I have set the roughness to 1. The white material looks way better. So we can see all of that ambient occlusion and stuff. Now we need to add a post-processing volume. You can just search for infinite bounds. So this will make sure that your post-processing volume is affecting everything in the whole level. After that, you can just search for Lumen. So how this works is, the post-processing volume has the same settings as we configured previously in the engine settings. So this will basically override that. So if you didn't enable this, if you don't have a post-processing volume in your scene, it will just use the project settings. But if you have a post-processing volume, that will basically override all of that engine settings. So we are going to turn on all of this Lumen stuff. And we are going to turn on these 4 settings. So now if I enable and disable the post-process volume, you can see nothing happens because this is set to the default settings. So the engine settings and the post-processing settings are same by default. So now we'll add a cube, and this cube will be the emissive cube. So I'm going to add the emissive material to a cube. This is a very easy material. I'll just explain this. So I have a basic color. That's a vector parameter and that's been connected into the base color. Then I have multiplied the color with a scalar parameter that is basically deciding the intensity. And then I have connected the result into the emissive color. And finally, I have just given it a roughness of 1 because I don't want any specular highlights and stuff. So we have a rough material that emits blue light. It's pretty simple. And as you can see, if I move the cube around, the light is dynamically being calculated. The light is being calculated in real time, so this is pretty cool and pretty exciting. So this was not possible previously. And I don't know if you can see this, but it takes some time for Lumen to calculate this light. So if you move your objects quite fast, you can see this trail effect. The quality of our lighting is not that great. You can see some spots where it is being smudged. So we are getting that blotchy smudged effect. So to quickly fix that, to increase the resolution of this lighting basically, you can just go in the post-processing and you can just increase the quality. So this is going to hamper the performance as well. So keep that in mind. But if you're making an artistic scene or something, this is completely fine. If you're making a static scene for your portfolio, or if you're making something that is not a game, you can completely get away with this. You can crank that to a very high number. But if you're making a game, you definitely have to keep that in mind. So now I've just scaled these cubes and just Ctrl W to duplicate them. Our scene is looking a bit overexposed. Many people don't understand how to use exposure in Unreal Engine. So in this tutorial, I'm not going to explain this. I'll do a video later maybe. But for now, we are going to select the post-process volume. Search for exposure. So what I like to do is, I like to change the exposure mode to basic exposure. So basic auto exposure. And now basically you can reduce this value. And if you reduce this value, you will get a darker scene. So you can see the difference for yourself. So for this scene, I like to keep it at 0.1. So now I think that the exposure is fine. You can press Ctrl L and you can rotate your lamp. And as you can see, we are getting some bounced lighting. So the light is being bounced from above and we have this bright spot on the floor. So now we are going to add some volumetric light shafts in our scene. We already have some light shafts. It's a bit subtle and that is because of the volumetric fog that we added. If you want to enhance the effect of these light shafts, you can select the sunlight, the directional light, and you can go under the light shafts and you can turn on these light shaft options. You have two options. You have the occlusion light shaft and you have the bloom light shaft. So I like to enable both of them. Finally, I'm going to show you how you can get some reflections. So now I'm going to add a sphere. And this sphere has a very basic material. It has a red for the base color and it has a roughness value of 0. So it's completely glossy. So it's completely specular. And right out of the box, we have these reflections. As I move the sphere, you can see that the light is being bounced on the surface of the sphere. The red light is being scattered. So as you can see, if I move this sphere closer to the light, you get a lot of red in your scene. So this is how basically light works in real life. Everything absorbs light. So everything absorbs light and everything reflects light to some extent. So now I'm going to show you what options we had previously before Lumen. So you can go to the post-process volume, and as I said, the post-process volume will override everything, will override the default engine settings. So you can basically change the reflection method from Lumen to screen space. So now we have some screen space reflections, and screen space reflections was used in a lot of games. So as you can see, the light is being reflected when the light is in the frame, and the moment the light goes off the camera, the reflection of the light disappears. So whenever an object goes off from the camera, that object's reflection also disappears. So that is basically what screen space reflections is. And similarly, screen space global illumination is the same thing. So if the object is not in your scene, that object is not going to contribute to the global illumination. So that's why these methods were not that accurate. And Lumen is way better than this. Like, Lumen is really way better. Lumen is the best thing that we have. Let me just show you what happens when we change the global illumination mode. So this is global illumination completely off. So this is basically 100% direct lighting. So light is being bounced only once. We don't have any indirect lighting. And let me change this to Lumen. So light is being bounced a lot of times and we are getting that bounced lighting. Next, screen space global illumination. As you can see, this looks very bad. So Lumen is the best option we have right now, and this is pretty cool, pretty easy to implement. So that's it. I hope you like this video and this video was helpful to you. If you did like this video, please leave a like down below. It really helps a lot. Also, check out my Patreon page, subscribe to the channel. And that's it. I'm going to see you in the next video.